Welcome to Cock Talk, where we're going to talk about
Episode 2.
Talking about episode 2.
Star Wars episode 2, guys.
Attack of the Clones. They don't attack anything.
I need a better position here.
It's more defense of the clones.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
even.
clones.
Yeah.
Alright,
Even.
so the reason that we're, posthumously reviewing this movie because it is dead
It's
is
terrible.
because Linson firmly believes that this is the best prequel film. And, and that it's a good movie.
I'll tell you what. It might not be the best, but it sure as hell beats number 1.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. I seriously
way.
think that this is way better than number 1.
Explain. Give us...
Explain?
Explain.
Okay, well, first of all, the dynamic of Anakin.
Okay, no, give us like 5 major points, and we'll go over them one by one.
Okay, well,
Just start with one, dude.
Okay. Anakin is just way better in here than Kid Anakin. Kid Anakin's fucking disgusting. He's just a little whiny little kid, you know?
Hayden Christensen doesn't know how to use his face yet.
Yeah, but then better than a little kid, right?
He's still the same, but grown up, which is even worse.
It's
Because he's a kid, you're like, okay, well, he's a kid, whatever.
someone who is socially ineffective as a child and an adult is not fun to watch.
And he's
Well,
not a...
hey,
he's
there
not
you go,
when he's
dude.
a kid, he's not a rapist. Or any way creepy.
Yeah, okay, look.
Dude,
we
okay.
just reviewed the movie. We
Alright.
just watched the movie one more time. He clearly manipulates Padme into kissing him.
No, he didn't, dude. And
The
the scene right after, she even asked, "Oh, did you use your mind tricks on me?" And he was like, "No, it doesn't work on the weak. It only works on the weak-minded."
You know why he said that? Because he's lying, obviously. Come on.
'Cause he's lying.
No, it's like, yeah, I totally used the Jedi mind trick on you.
totally didn't drug your drink, right? Shit like that.
Exactly.
No, but look. And saying that he's just like Kid Anakin is like complimenting him. That's like saying he's a great actor, dude. He keeps his kid persona from the first movie. Right?
But
No.
in movies, you're supposed to develop your character. Not keep it the same, right?
I mean, first of all,
Yeah, go on.
in the first movie, Anakin is like a supporting role, right?
Yeah, he's not a main character, really.
Yeah, it's Qui-Gon and
Okay.
Obi.
Yeah.
In this one, Anakin's the fucking star, and he's the shittiest.
Look, dude, Anakin. Okay. I feel like Anakin captures us in all this. You know, like we're kind of Anakin.
No,
you know?
we're not.
Like he's awkward. He's angsty. And he's a little creepy.
Okay, look. The
No,
average human being is going to take no. He will take no for an answer. He will not dream about the same girl for 10 years every night, despite the fact that they only met for like 2 days.
Exactly.
Right?
Like
she's
I said, dude.
she's several years older than him.
All right. Okay.
Way more
They
than
might exaggerate the little creepiness on this, but then everyone's a little creepy, right? I'm just saying that.
No,
and he's also
it's
more importantly, he's a family man. Like, dude, he loves his mom. He wants the love of a gorgeous girl, right? Right?
How's that a good thing?
Yeah.
No, this is why Anakin is such a well-developed character, you know? And that's what makes the movie good, because Anakin's good.
Okay, you can't say Anakin's good. You can't say that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
All
I
he's
can't
saying
say
this entire
Anakin's
time
good?
is he's just whining about everything. Whining about Padme, whining about Obi-Wan, whining about his mom, whining about literally anything that shows up in his life.
Yeah, but like poetry, dude, it rhymes.
Okay,
What?
It's not. Okay, it's not that it rhymes. Okay, they do some really great things with Anakin, where his mother dies, and he shows a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
It's poorly acted, but it's great
Yeah,
emotion.
really poorly
Okay,
acted,
Christensen.
It wasn't
And
that bad.
the dialogue isn't terrible, except for I killed them. They're dead. That's really bad.
Dude, no, and by the way,
Yeah.
if I was in Hayden Christensen's like position and I was directed to do shit, I think I could do better than that.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Literally anybody could do. Okay, look.
I'm fucking serious because
Okay.
like the romance shit. Come on.
That was how it's supposed to be played out, man.
No, there's good ideas, right? There can be a romance between the two characters, as dumb as the age gap is, as dumb as him dreaming about her every night for 10 years
The
is.
delivery.
That's 3,600 nights, Lindsay.
You calculate this?
No, you just multiply.
Oh, yeah. You still talk like 10.
I'm fucking factory saying.
The fact
Oh, no,
dude,
let's
that's
not
shit.
get to that yet.
Look,
We're talking about Anakin and how he's
Okay.
not a character. He's just pure, unadulterated creepiness in a human being.
like I said, dude, it like embodies like all of us.
No,
you know?
it doesn't.
The average
Because
viewer.
he has very human experiences.
Yeah.
Like his mother dying, him
Mhm.
falling in love with a girl. These are very human things. But then
The way he acts.
the way he perceives them is just wrong.
And,
Wait,
and you just can't compare Anakin of episode 1 and episode 2.
Like, okay, look, you saying he encompasses all of us? He
Yeah.
captures Quang, not us. This is what would happen if Quang was a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, would you?
Okay. Well, you know, like, it's like poetry, guys. It rhymes.
You can't just keep
Whoa,
saying
no.
that. That has no meaning.
Okay, so the original trilogy, you know, Luke is angsty, kinda.
No,
Luke is
no.
angsty for half of a movie, and then his uncle dies, and he finds out it wasn't really his uncle. And then all of a sudden he's learning, and he's a very, very calm young man.
There you
Or
Sure,
he's
development.
very energetic about shooting stormtroopers. Either way, he shows human emotion. He
Exactly.
develops real friendships with real people.
Okay. Yeah, same thing with Anakin.
Anakin's friendship with Obi-Wan is so bad in this movie.
It's horrible.
No.
Give me one scene. No, just tell
Okay.
me one scene where him and Obi-Wan have a believable friendship. That's all I want to know.
At the beginning of the movie, they're
No,
like,
at the beginning of the movie, they're talking about things we never see them do.
yeah.
It's
And
not believable.
that's like past experiences, you know.
That's lazy.
Sometimes,
If
yeah, sure, it's lazy writing, sure, but then that's human emotions, you know. They
But that's a
interact with each
bad
other.
thing.
They're friends.
Yeah, you do it only for 10
They're
seconds.
chill, dude.
Like if
They hang out like bros, dude.
like it's not even as good as like a flashback or anything. They're literally saying, "Dude, you remember that time we hung out? Yeah, we must be bros." No.
10 years ago, by the way. 10 years ago.
Okay, sure, that might be lazy writing, but then that still proves my point of him being like a person, right?
For 10 seconds.
Him being
I'm
chill,
sorry.
him being a chill dude.
He's not that much of a chill dude because he's literally disobeying his master in the elevator. And the second they get outside of the elevator, his master, the guy who saves his ass, by the way, because Yoda didn't want him to be trained in the first place, the guy who took responsibility for him, he goes ahead and just disregards everything he says and makes him look like a bitch in front of senators.
Okay, so what you're telling me is Anakin's a bad character.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Executed very poorly.
It was the execution, or it was everything
The execution of what exactly?
of Anakin's character.
Alright, well, the execution of Anakin's character is completely dependent on the execution of the world around him. So let's get to that. Totally terrible.
What do you mean?
Look at Padme.
Yeah.
Defend Padme right now. Well,
Alright.
I'm not going to tell you what I think is wrong with her. Defend Padme.
Well, what's there to defend? I mean,
What do
she's
you think
perfectly
about the
fine.
character? Just talk about the character
Okay.
in general.
Describe her without using
Describe
without
her personality.
describe her without saying what she wears, what she looks like, or what she does. Describe her personality.
Okay.
She's passionate about her job because she doesn't wanna run away. Right.
Right.
You just talked about her job.
Yeah, but then I'm saying
Don't
she's
talk about her
passionate
job.
about it. Okay.
Talk about who she is as a person. Why does that matter in her job? Not about her
Okay,
job.
she's a senator, right?
Yeah. But why is she a senator?
She's
What kind of person is she?
she's very, like, honest, you know. She's like,
Like describe. Okay, this has happened before, but describe Han Solo.
okay, Han Solo is a guy, right? He's very, he's very, he's like,
How could you not describe Han Solo?
because
Oh
you
my
guys are putting me on the spot, dude.
He's brash. He's cynical. He's skeptical. He's
Charming.
charismatic. He's charming.
Like,
he's
exactly, I was about to
brave.
say that.
He's brave, but at the same time, he's very selfish.
Exactly.
None of that required me to tell you he's a drug smuggler. None of that.
Okay.
Describe Padme's job without telling me she's a
Alright,
volunteer.
let me think about this. She's decisive.
Okay, I give you that. I give you that. You know what? The reason she feels decisive is because the amount of time she tells Anakin, "No, we can't do this. We can't be in love." But then they
She
rip
does it
away.
anyway.
They rip away the one part of her character you rely on throughout the entire movie, where she says, "Anakin, I love you," for no reason.
Alright. Okay, so what you guys are telling me is Padme is a bad character.
Padme is poorly written and
She also
poorly
is
acted.
my character.
She has the
Both of them.
same face in almost every scene.
Right,
Right.
right. But don't you think that kind of compliments Anakin's character too?
No,
They
no.
complement each other.
How? Because Anakin
Because
has a
of
scary
shitty
face in every
faces.
scene?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Don't say yeah, sure. Tell me what.
They just complement each other.
Yeah.
Like one is like
It's like if one bird shit on your roof and then another one shits right next to the other spot, right?
There are a
They
couple
complement
there are a
each
couple
other.
of shits in the same toilet bowl.
yeah, Yeah, there you go, dude. It's a compliment.
All right, what's the next thing that makes this movie better than episode 1?
Okay, so
By the way, Kid Anakin has some very memorable lines compared to episode 2 Hayden Christensen's lines, worse than episode 3.
what are you talking
Well,
about?
definitely worse than
No.
Episode 3 had some pretty good dialogue between him and Obi-Wan near the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and
for
a lot of the stuff with him and Palpatine was pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
That was much better than this movie. Kid Anakin had some lines that they're both
Okay,
of these movies are
it's
pure
shit.
trash for Anakin, but at least
They were
episode
memorable.
1 had memorable trash lines
I
that
disagree, dude.
okay.
I think episode 2 has better lines.
Episode 2 has I don't like sand, it's coarse, it's rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
And help me out, Johnny. I killed them. I killed them all.
Oh, I killed
them all. That's all it has.
And what does Kid Anakin have?
Kid Anakin has I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Well, this is pod
No,
racing.
this is pod racing.
It's working.
It's working. It's working.
I mean, they're shit, but they're
Awful, but look, I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. That is way more fun and applicable than anything.
I disagree. I feel
Look,
like
it's
I
not
like
great.
sand is the best line
I
ever
like
spoken in Star Wars.
you
Oh,
you
no,
don't
no.
get that.
Let's talk about the positives of episode 1, and let's see how you counter that.
Okay, yeah.
Go for it.
Compliment positive 1 first.
Compliment.
Can you? Episode 1. Can you?
Episode 1, I don't study episode 1. I study episode 2.
No,
guys.
no. Tell me what happened in episode 1. Listen.
Okay, so alright, episode 1. Let me try to think back.
Because there's a couple things that I will agree to did better, but you need to tell me them.
Well, like the bad things? Episode 1?
Yeah,
No,
just
tell
talk
me the
about
good things in episode 1 first, and we'll go to the bad things.
Okay.
unless
so
you
the
can't
good
think of
things.
it.
It's pretty easy to think of the bad things.
Think about the good
There's a
things.
lot of that.
Half the movie.
Yeah, the fight between
Yes,
with Maul.
that's a good thing.
That was really
That's
good.
very good.
Yes, and you keep going. Actually, I want to hear all the good things.
This podcast is sponsored by.
Absolutely nothing, because we're broke. Barish, name something positive about episode 1.
Alright, Duel of the Fates, for sure.
The song.
That's in the
That
mall
has
fight.
nothing to do with the actual
Yeah.
plot.
Name something
Yeah.
fun and good about episode 1.
Alright, Maul fight. Let me think.
What about the bigger fish scene?
That was pretty scary. When
It was
I
pretty
younger.
funny, and it was kind of scary
Oh,
because
yeah,
the giant fish.
Yeah. Some good introduction to like Naboo and like good views of Tatooine.
Actually, just the scenery in general.
The
I
scenery.
think it looked really good.
I think it was a much nicer looking movie because
Yeah.
this had way too much sand. And as you know, we don't like sand. It's
Oh,
coarse
Anakin
and it's
doesn't
rough,
like sand.
and it gets it. Well, he encompasses all of us, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
So we have to hate sand too. Clearly.
It's not smooth like here, you know.
Yeah.
And
It's soft.
he likes Naboo. Naboo is the main backdrop for the first movie.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Mm.
So what else do you like about the
I
first
feel like the
movie?
plot is like pretty linear. It's just,
For one?
like, for one, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Over here though, like we're going from Obi-Wan's shit in Camino to Anakin's rape. And
Yeah, but
everything.
that's the adventure, you know.
It's not really an adventure.
No.
That's
It's like I'm watching pretty okay Obi-Wan Adventure, and bam, I just get them talking
Yeah.
about we should, no, we shouldn't, we should, no, we
I'm
shouldn't.
we're getting it all right if a little bit illogical Obi-Wan adventure.
It's like a noir
Yeah.
film to a
It's
weird
fun.
rom-com
And,
to like a really like
like, it starts out
it's
as
like
a romantic
exploitation
drama.
rape film thing.
Yeah, okay. Like
It's
the
like-
the rapey part was just beyond.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The rapey part was actually the first scene of them on the boat. Like right after they get off the ship and they're talking about sand. That's when he rapes her.
I feel like you guys over exaggerate the rape scene. Oh, the rape part.
Hey, okay, look, listen.
Yeah.
Let's say you're hanging. You meet a girl. You're 8 years old. You meet a girl and she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you dream about her every night.
10 years, 10 years, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those creepy faces
Yeah,
every time you see her.
you see her, you can't help but make a creepy face. And the first time you see her in
Yeah.
10 years, you tell her how beautiful she is. You can't stop making weird comments about how much you enjoy being around her.
Yeah, I'm a
And
little
you
nervous.
stare at her.
A little
And she,
nervous, yeah.
and she looks you in the eyes and she says, "Don't look at me like that.
And
It makes me uncomfortable."
yeah, and then the like because of pop culture, you know,
What?
I'm gonna have to like, what's up, girl? Like,
No,
why not?
no.
You know?
You can't. You don't
He's
have.
basically saying no.
She said, "Don't look at me like that." They get on the ship. He says, "I love you." he doesn't wait. He says, "I love you." So let's say you say, "I love you" to this girl, and she says, "No." Back off. All right. So
Okay.
you land on this planet. It's beautiful, beautiful planet, and she's wearing a dress and her back is exposed, and you start rubbing up her back.
Hold on.
That's a little fucked up.
Hold on. We had conversations in between that.
Yeah,
we were
they
talking
did.
about love.
They were
and
talking
compassion.
About, they were talking about love and compassion, and he's making dumbass excuses for why a Jedi is technically allowed to love. While the rule is clearly a Jedi cannot love. It's a clear rule, and he only finds a loophole because he's a dickhole who doesn't listen to his masters.
Okay.
He's a disobedient little punk. So let's say you're a disobedient little punk. Do you think a cultured, beautiful woman who is a politician who is like 6 years older than you is gonna buy that shit? And then you start rubbing up her naked back. And then as you rub up her naked back, she looks at you. Not out of arousal. She looks at you out of fear and anger.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
One thing,
Confusion. She looks at you out of confusion.
Sure, yeah.
And you stick your tongue down her throat.
there was no chemistry between
No chemistry.
Anakin and Padme at all.
It was really forced.
Sure, there wasn't any
Nothing
like
between Hayden's Christensen and
visual chemistry, but
There was no
visual.
there's no tangible vocal chemistry.
Yeah, but then there's a deeper meaning behind everything they say. They're
Right.
connected.
They say one thing basically.
Okay. All right. So
What the
Okay.
fuck does sand have to do with anything?
look, dude. He
It's
doesn't
an
like
allegory,
sand.
dude, for how smooth her back is.
Yeah, that was,
I
that
didn't
was the
touch
next
it.
transition, dude.
I want to touch it.
Can't wait, right?
Okay, look, dude. He didn't rape her.
Right.
It was
So
just a little handsy, dude.
he invaded her personal space.
He molested her.
Hey, dude, it's the literal definition of molested. He invaded her personal space,
And she didn't want it.
and he underwent sexual advances as she said no. So
Wait. No,
Tell-
she didn't
tell
say.
me-
She didn't say no. During.
afterwards, she said we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, we shouldn't do it.
Okay, look.
And then he doesn't do it.
You know,
and he
in
stops.
the whole
Then he
example.
does.
You know, in the
And
whole.
then
He doesn't stop, by the way.
He does stop.
He
He keeps
continues
going.
every day that they are on this planet. Every day he tries to get in her pants. And
No,
tell
he
her how
looks
much
at
he
her,
loves
dude.
her. He looks at her like a fucking serial
That's
killer.
it.
All right, and think about it this way. You know how I'm telling you, this example of if you were doing this to a girl?
Yeah.
Let's imagine you have a fucking laser sword and you can control the world around you with your mind.
And you can literally control people's minds.
And you have thought control. This woman, A, doesn't like you, and B, she's scared of you. Come on.
Oh wait, look. Okay, so she first says no, don't do it,
She
as
said, "No, don't
as
do
like
it."
a defense thing,
Right.
right? Because she's a senator.
Because she's asking for it.
No, I'm not saying that, guys. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she's getting raped, dude. Okay, because she's a senator. She doesn't want. She doesn't want. it
Bail
to be
Organa's
ruined,
married.
Bail Organa is a senator who's married. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to defend that as part of it, then you're going to have to admit that the writing is a hack job. Because Bail Organa's married.
Well,
Yeah, he
okay,
is.
you can't. Okay,
Admit one or the other.
okay. It's not black and white, dude. It's not. This is not Pokemon. What the fuck? This is Star Wars, dude. This is George Lucas. This is art.
George
guys.
Lucas literally says it is the dark and the light. George Lucas rejects the EU Grey Jedi. Come on! George Lucas's whole idealism is based off of Sith and Jedi. It is black and white. Or red and blue, whatever.
I feel like we're going on this Anakin and Padme stuff too much. What else can we talk about from this movie that was shit?
Okay. Episode 1 had a better villain. I like Dooku, but he just seemed kind of weak.
Yeah, he falls kind of flat.
Yeah.
Because then all he does is talk. He looks really old.
Yeah, for sure. But then in episode 1, there was too much. Like trade debate. You know,
Yes, agreed.
that was way too
He has
much.
1 point. But
You know,
Episode 2 doesn't have that much.
Episode 2 does have a lot of weird senator scenes that don't fit. It has a lot of weird Ian McDermott politics where he's talking about getting the emergency powers, and they write it very poorly because he says, "Oh, we need a senator to grant me the emergency
That was
powers."
very short though. That was
Okay,
like one little
sure,
small scene.
but let's look at the writing of that
That's
scene.
horrible.
Okay.
He needs a senator to grant him emergency powers. First thing, Padme gives Jar Jar her position when she leaves for Naboo. Dumb. Also seemingly illegal. Right? He wasn't elected. He wasn't elected to be the senator. She just gives it to him. Second thing, if he needs a senator to elect him to have emergency powers to build the army, then why doesn't he just get any of the other senators to do it? Also, why doesn't he just get the Senate itself to vote for the army instead of the emergency powers?
Exactly.
Why do they have such a half-assed explanation for the entire thing?
I mean, obviously it's because, Emperor and shit. But, like the way they wrote it, it's horrible.
Look, at least in episode 1, we understand that the trade negotiations are just that. They're just trade negotiations, and the separatists are just assholes trying to separate from the Republic.
But they are shit.
It's very simple. Very poorly written, but very simple. This is bad in the sense that it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's forced.
Yeah, sure, it's a little forced.
Yeah,
But
it's
such a small part.
it's less in your face, it's less annoying,
Yeah.
but it's still very stupid.
Sure.
And it's countered by the fact that the romance is so shit.
The romance between Anakin and Padme?
Yeah, it's shit.
No, I wouldn't say it's shit, guys. Come on.
It's fucking shit.
I mean, like, it's like his line, his sand line, and after, like, okay, everybody focuses on the sand line, but then what he says after, it's so soft.
It's soft and smooth like you, and here
it's a little flirty. What's wrong with that?
it's a little flirty. What's wrong with that?
When he
is when
touches her right
Because he
after
starts
that.
touching
All
her
right,
on her back.
It's like it's a little signal, okay? It's a little slight. It's not like he's grabbing her ass, He's just touching her in the back.
You ever touched a woman's back when it was completely exposed? It's pretty
It's
much
saying
like
that
you're
she's
leading.
soft.
He was leading down to her ass for one.
And how did we get back to
Oh my god!
No,
Listen,
was it?
Listen
No.
loves that.
No,
scene.
he went up. He went up.
Up and down. Up
No,
and
he
down.
didn't.
You do that to.
He didn't stroke her back.
No,
Like
okay,
a talk.
okay, wait. What was our point? The point is,
Yeah.
you said it's a little flirty. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
When you flirt with a woman constantly and you tell her you love her and you dream about her every night, and she says no, you need to stop. You don't continue flirting with
Well,
her.
no.
That's harassment. And that's not like a modern day SJW version of harassment. That's like legit old fashioned
No,
harassment.
he tells her he tells her that he's been dreaming of her every day
For 10 years.
after the kiss though. That was after the kiss.
No. Johnny,
That was after
See,
the kiss.
okay, I'll help you get her. In a sense, that's a little bit romantic. Maybe Padme is as fucked up as he is and thinks that's kind of hot.
yeah, if she's as fucked up as him, but can we really assume she is?
No.
Yes. Well, actually,
Please.
let's assume she is kind of fucked
Well, because, again, with the stunt doubles.
yes,
He just-
thank you for picking it up. Okay, let's get to that. Can we get to that?
Also. No, even worse. Okay, let's just go back. Let's take a step back.
Alright.
The entire premise of this movie is that they're trying to kill Senator Amidala.
Right.
Why are they trying to kill her?
Okay,
They never
they're trying
say
to kill
why.
Senator Amidala because
Because the new Gunray is, like, pretty pissed off and wants
oh,
revenge.
Gunray doesn't like her,
Because he wants revenge for her screwing him over in Naboo.
That's it.
That's the reason.
which is weird because he invaded Naboo illegally. Wait, I don't
So it's-
understand.
That literally is dumb.
Okay, the whole premise makes no sense. Basically, you have to treat them like terrorists.
Okay.
And they want to kill a politician because they know that it will freak everyone out. And I guess that's okay, but then when you look at how they handle it, just the beginning, the first scene of the movie where he goes, I guess I was wrong, it looks like there is no danger, and the ship blows up. Right?
Comedy gold.
That is comedy gold.
I like
I
that.
agree
That's
with
cute.
you. It's funny.
It's
It's
very
not
funny.
good.
What's even funnier is the stunt double says, I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
Stunt
that's so
double-
I
bad.
failed you.
The person whose job it literally is to die says, I'm sorry I failed you. No, you didn't. You did your job. Also,
Sure, that's like a throwaway.
why is the woman who is supposed to be, her identity is being protected by stunt doubles, right?
Yeah.
So why is she guarding her own stunt double? The guard is in more danger of dying than the stunt double.
Because wouldn't, the assassins gotta kill the guards first?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, you guys are just nitpicking.
No,
this
no,
stuff.
No, even more. This is
The
just
entire plot.
This is just complete logic.
Yeah.
Even more. Speaking of assassination,
Yeah.
first they explode the thing, right? Cool, whatever, I get it. And then worms.
It almost works.
Explain
Yeah, yeah.
worms.
Yo, dude, the worms almost worked.
Okay, you know what totally would have worked?
A gun.
That is a fucking gun. Yeah,
If the droid,
fucking
look, if the
God.
droid had a laser beam, there's no more Padme.
She's dead, so.
She's dead. If the droid had one laser,
Or a bomb. Or the droid was even a bomb.
or if the droid was a bomb. Okay, like, I'm not even gonna... Look, we're not nitpicking. Because if we were nitpicking, I would say Obi-Wan Kenobi jumping through the glass window and grabbing onto the droid is dumb. I'm okay with that. I can suspend my disbelief for that
No, that's
shit.
fine. That's fine.
That's totally fine.
Whatever.
But... They have this... Him and Anakin have this strange implied friendship that we never really see. Where he's like, oh, Master Kenobi's gonna hate me for destroying my lightsaber.
Not a gun.
Oh, I hate it when he does that. Really? This is the first time I've ever seen him do this. This isn't like an established behavior. It seems like he's being a dick this week only because the chick he likes is in town.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like.
It really does feel like it. It feels so forced, like this jealousy that he has for no reason. Like it just comes out of nowhere. It's so shittily delivered.
He's mad because Padme's around. So was he like this before? Because we clearly understand that in this movie he's mad because he's trying to impress Padme.
He's just got blue balls.
Blue balls?
He has blue balls.
Yeah, you know what? All he has to do is just flick of his wrist and those blue balls go away because she can't say no to a Jedi. Literally can't. It's not a matter of choice here. You got anything to say, Barish? Or you...
Where are we at, by the way?
We just got all over the place, dude.
Yeah, no, because Listen brought the politics debate back to Sad.
We went from assassination, like the logic of the assassination part,
Yeah.
to.
Who cares?
Who cares?
We're at
Oh, no,
assassination
listen. Name one thing about episode 1 you found unforgivably awful.
The kid. I don't like the
We
kid.
already defended the kid.
To be honest, the kid is not nearly as bad as Jar Jar in that movie.
Okay, yeah,
Jar
Jar
Jar's horrible.
Jar's worse than the kid. Also, I would argue that because it's a kid, I have low expectations of that actor to do anything important,
Okay, for sure.
anything good.
It's a
Christensen-
supporting role too.
It's a supporting role. The
Alright,
kid is
okay.
like the 5th most featured character in that movie. Hayden Christensen is like a top billed actor for this movie. This is his breakout role. This is the biggest role of the century. This is Anakin Skywalker, Darth fucking Vader,
Yeah, Darth Vader.
and he butchers it.
It's terrible.
Not only does he butcher it, the lines are written poorly.
He's butchering
Okay,
something
alright.
that's very bad.
Okay, alright. You get okay, alright. He butchered some stuff.
Well, what do you?
We're back to Anakin, dude. Jesus
Okay, look,
Christ.
dude, he butchered some
No,
stuff.
no. I'm getting off
There
that.
are some bad lines, but there are some fucking gold in this
No.
movie,
There's
guys.
comedy gold.
Oh
It's
my
Funny
god!
because it's horrible.
Unintentional comedy gold isn't gold. It's crap. Okay, what did you think was legitimate good gold?
Good gold?
Not action. Not like what a loser.
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah. Not oh god, he's so creepy. What was gold? Give me a golden
Got a
moment.
good one, dude. Because
Because
I
I
have
have
a moment where it's good because it's shit. You can say the exact same thing about the first one. It's because there's scenes where it's good because it's so shit.
Well, there's a couple scenes in one that are just good because they're good.
Yeah,
But the vast majority is terrible. Like, I have one scene in this movie that I would give Anakin a silver star for. But that's it. Do you know the scene?
yeah, I already know which one you're gonna
It's
say.
pretty obvious.
It's gonna be a good moment.
What do you think, guys?
It's a comedy gold moment if you're watching with friends. But if you're by yourself, it kind of gets
No, I have no idea.
you can't.
Nice.
What's a good? Okay, look,
Nice.
like the Dooku fight. That was pretty good.
No.
It was meh.
The rave
Are
part.
we gonna,
Rave party.
when we get to the Darth Maul Count Dooku comparison, we'll do rave party. Alright.
Let's just do it now.
Yeah, okay,
You
I
wanna-
already know the Darth Maul was way better than the Dooku.
It's way
The
better.
fight was better.
Yeah, the fight was better.
The cinematography in the fight for Darth Maul is like the whole choreography and the cinematography are universally panned because it's too flashy. There's no point. It lasts way too long and all that good stuff. Somehow it's better than Count Dooku's fight.
Yeah, it's still.
Count Dooku's fight is that bad.
I think this fight's really shit.
Count Dooku's fight is okay. First of all, they CGI'd his head onto a stunt double because he's like 80.
Yeah.
Then they gave him a fucking
really-
lightsaber that's pointed outward like a gun.
Yeah.
So he has to swing like with his wrist and shit. It's weird.
He'd probably break his wrist.
There's nothing like inherently wrong with it. It looks awkward, And then Yoda fighting him. Why does Yoda, who in episode 5 says, a Jedi is not defined by his skills with a lightsaber. Why does Yoda, of all people, pull out his lightsaber? Why?
Fan service, that's why. It's definitely fan service.
For real.
Just think about it.
For sure.
What happens in that scene? They fight. It's really boring. They die. Essentially, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And Yoda saves the day by doing nothing, essentially. All Yoda does is put him off, and then Dooku just runs away. And then it's over. That's it. And there's the race scene.
Literally nothing of consequence happens. It's just like,
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
when we say rave scene, there's a particular scene in this fight in which Obi-Wan is injured and he gives Anakin his lightsaber, and Anakin proceeds to do nothing with it in a double-fisted attack against Dooku. Dooku cuts one of his lightsabers in half, and they proceed to they trade slashes at each other
In the dark.
and in the dark, mind you, and the camera cuts between their faces, and it's just lightsabers flashing in front of them, and it cuts. We counted 10 times for 20 seconds. 10 cuts
20
It looks
seconds.
shit.
20 seconds.
of the same two really dark shots, and neither character is showing very much emotion. Also, Anakin says, that Obi-Wan has the wisdom of Yoda and the strength of Master Windu. Obi-Wan gets his ass
And
handed
he's completely fucked.
several times. And then Obi-Wan says if you practiced, you would rival Yoda in lightsaber proficiency. And he says, oh, don't I already? He gets ass blasted by Dooku.
Yep.
This is not close.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the dialogue match what happens in the movie? Why is the world building so ass?
Yeah, because this lightsaber duel is shit. That's why I didn't even remember it.
It's so bad.
I've watched this thing 4 times, and I don't remember that duel.
Look,
That's how shit it is.
I've watched that duel so many times as a kid, and that was the first time I've ever noticed the rave scene being that bad. That was 20 seconds of my life.
In my mind, all that happened in that duel is they swung around a little bit. Dooku beat the shit out of both of them with like a big rock, and then Yoda fucks the day.
Yeah, Yoda
And that is
basically
exactly what happens, but it takes much, much longer.
than it really needed to.
Yeah.
The thing about episode 1, we're not gonna say it's a good movie, right?
Yeah, but
No,
it's
definitely
better,
not.
it's better than episode 2.
No one's saying it's a good movie. It's better than episode 2 for a lot of reasons.
It feels like an adventure. I like that too.
It feels like
The plot, like, they take you to new places, they see a lot of big sites. I mean, it's not well planned out, but then it's kind of like the original, you know,
Yeah.
like, you get this feel of, like, a space, adventure, opera kind of thing.
like
like
there's
something bigger in the grand scheme of things.
yeah, exactly.
this movie.
This movie, somehow it brings in an army of 1 million clones and a droid factory, and it feels smaller than the Phantom Menace. How? How does it do that? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't feel the grandeur in it, you know?
All right, and another, there's one big main sin this movie commits. All right, in the first half hour, you split up the 2 main characters who are supposed to be brothers. They're supposed to be master and student. Obi-Wan and Anakin spend no time together in this movie.
Yeah, almost the entire movie.
This is the movie that should have built up their relationship so
Yeah.
that in episode 3 it made sense that they were
But-
friends.
They don't do shit.
No, this is the movie where he hangs out with Padme all day.
And Obi-Wan goes off by himself.
All day. And Obi-Wan by himself with an R4 droid, by the way. He doesn't even get R2. What the... Where is R2, by the way? Hanging out with Anakin and Padme.
Yeah, dude.
This-
You're getting schooled, kid.
Alright, okay, alright,
Yeah,
okay.
they're getting roasted, man.
Alright, okay.
Why episode 2 is bad, man.
Okay, so I see you guys pointing out the flaws of this movie. Sure, there are some flaws. Sure, there are some flaws, guys.
Okay.
But like I said,
Okay.
If every 30 seconds of a movie there's something you go, I would not have put that in under any circumstances, it's a bad movie. Come on. The factory scene.
okay,
the fucking
we got it, dude. The factory scene is bad, dude.
No, we haven't even talked about why it's bad. We just
Oh,
mentioned
no,
it.
wait, let's defend the whole thing about the separation. Why is it better than Qui-Gon Obi-Wan? Because Qui-Gon Obi-Wan was subpar.
Yeah,
But
it is really bad because they do split them
It's
up.
pretty bad that they split up Obi-Wan and Anakin. But Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are at least together for most of the movie,
And then they get split up.
except for Tatooine, and then they're back. They're together most of the movie. What we needed from Episode 2 was a movie where they have the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan relationship, but better. That's what we needed. Because Obi-Wan clearly loves Qui-Gon, and he cares when he gets stabbed in the goddamn chest.
So, yeah. Okay, Alright, you got me. Okay, you got me. But it's not a bad movie.
Why?
Just because of the ideas behind the movie.
It's just
and
the movie itself.
We're not arguing it's a bad movie. We're arguing it's the worst movie of the franchise, right?
Out of all 7 movies,
Right?
It's gotta be the
Star
worst
Wars
movie,
Episode
dude.
2 Attack of the Clones the worst? Who votes yes?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's Kevin Dye. Has only
Out of
seen-
the 2 that I've seen, that Episode 2 is pretty bad.
Only out of the 2. Yeah, he still hasn't seen the
Alright,
original
listen.
Episode 3.
Is it the worst movie of the 7?
It's gotta be the worst movie. Come
Okay.
on.
Why do you think 1 is worse than
Okay,
this?
well, as you can see from my presentation, from my display, I'm not well prepared. Not as prepared as all you guys are. Because I'm not an expert.
We just
I've
watched
only
the-
recently watched this.
So we literally just watched the same movie.
Yeah, we
Okay,
watched it
alright, but
together.
I haven't seen. I've been recently seen 1. You know.
Me either.
Dude, I avoid saying this.
when me and my friends watched to get Kevin up to par for 7, we specifically watched a shortened version of 2 because it was shit enough that we didn't give a shit about what the fuck happens in it. It's enough so that you could skip what happens between 1 and 3. It just says, oh yeah, and they got a clone army, and now they have a clone war. And then that's it. That's all you need to know for the entire movie. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
That's how you know the movie's shit.
Alright. Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, sure.
So what's your order of the 7?
Come on,
Just
dude.
rank them.
Yeah, just
Of
rank
like what I think is the best.
So that's the worst, yeah.
Best to worst.
Best to worst. Your favorite to worst.
No, not favorite. Best. So
Okay.
Best to worst.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be 6.
First?
6 is the best?
Yeah. I like 6 the best. 4, 7, 5, 3,
Damn, 5 real low.
2, 1.
Oh.
At least 2's not the first one. That's a good thing.
Wait. Did he rank 2 as the worst movie
Second.
yet?
Second.
Second worst. You have to admit it's the worst, though.
He also ranked 6 as the first movie.
6, 4,
We'll get
7,
that's
5.
a discussion for a completely
6, 4,
different
7.
time.
7, 5?
Yeah.
5 is so low, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, 5 is
Wait, just the other day you
Well-
said 5 is the best movie.
What can I say? Do I fucking hate
Are you
Hoth?
you're talking about personal favorites?
What's wrong with Hoth?
Yeah,
So
personal
like Hoth,
favorites.
dude.
You're talking personal favorites and not film-wise? Or are you talking...
Hoth
No,
wasn't
come
that bad, dude.
You're talking film-wise?
Yeah.
7
was
is far
good.
worse than 5. Like, as a film? Come on, dude.
5 is amazing.
5 is like the perfect space adventure movie.
I still think that 4 is better than 5, personally.
It has more heart.
Mhm.
A lot more heart.
Because I don't like the romance scenes in 5.
I think I've.
The thing about 5 is it's just such an original film.
I think I'm just too focused on the Hoth part.
Dude,
Oh my
To be
God.
honest,
Hoth
Wait,
is
what's wrong with
25.
Hoth?
I just
Hoth
don't
is
like
20,
Hoth
25.
Wait, what about because it's cold?
because it just feels out of place.
Because the snow is so coarse and
It's not good.
It's smooth and wet and it gets everywhere.
And cold. Out of place. So how would you start the movie?
Oh, that's not the movie.
Hoth wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, but it wasn't great, you know.
Yeah.
What
It
about
wasn't
5
good.
wasn't great? Can we...
No, it was just Hoth,
We're gonna watch 5 again.
dude. It was because
Not right now.
it started off at Hoth. It just kind of like it was kind of whatever.
You don't
Look,
like the tauntaun
I-
and
I-
the Yeti?
Nah.
Don't like that. Yeah, that's.
Don't like
I really don't like
Because
that.
that was
either.
weird. It was just an explanation for why Mark Hamill's face is fucked up. That's all it was.
Yeah.
But I do like the Empire attacking Hoth. I like the scene.
Yeah,
it
because
looks cool.
It's
Yeah.
really cool how the title is The Empire Strikes Back and the
They're
Empire
just getting fucked.
actually
You
strikes back.
know? Yeah, I like that.
The
For
Empire
sure, for
finds the
sure.
rebel base. They kill a shit ton of rebels, and only a couple of them get away. And then as they're fleeing, they trick them into going to Bespin, where they fuck even more rebels up.
Okay, for sure. But then
So
it's just the atmosphere of Hoth.
It's
All
cold,
right.
right?
What
It's
about
just
Bespin?
cold, dude.
What about Bespin?
Where's Bespin?
Cloud City.
The Cloud
Cloud City? I like Cloud City.
Right.
How's
Did
that?
you like Dagobah?
No, there you go.
Did you like the training scenes?
What
With Luke and Yoda?
Looking at it.
Guys,
Oh,
guys,
right.
we're supposed to shit on episode 2.
Look, okay, look.
Now we're defending episode 5.
Well, okay, defending episode 5 is for a later date. We've all agreed, except for one guy, that episode 2 is the worst movie.
Horrible.
But can you agree that when you a side-by-side comparison of 2 and 1, 2 is the worst film?
I haven't recently watched.
We'll watch
so
one again later. But
yeah,
can you
okay.
agree that side-by-side comparison with 2 and a pile of dog shit, 2
Two-
looks the same?
No, not even close, guys.
Not even close.
Oh my god. We've gotten nowhere. Hopefully we've convinced somebody in the world episode 2 is trash.
No, most people, except for Rotten Tomatoes for some reason, most people agree that 2 is shit.
Even as a kid, I hated 2 the most. I thought 5
It
was...
was also the shittiest level of Lego Star Wars.
Oh shit, for real. I'm playing Lego Star Wars right now, over again. And the most fun level was the pod race. But then I'm on episode 2, and it's raining on Camino, and I just want to turn it off.
It's also the only part of the entire game where there's only 5 levels, where all the other ones have 6.
Yeah, it's 5, 5, and 6.
You're
Just
like, so shit.
fuck you guys.
Yeah, they don't want a level where Anakin and Padme are just running around in a boot.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything, they're just running around.
Instead of making
Still action.
instead of making a 6th level, they put their resources into doing a special episode 4 level.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty good. Alright, so episode 2 is terrible.
It's alright.
Episode 5 is great.
Sure.
Let's agree that episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all good to great, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Good to great. 1, 2, and 3 are all complete dog shit to acceptable.
Yeah.
for sure.
Dog shit to
3 2?
3 is acceptable.
3 is acceptable.
Three-
3 is the
three
best
is-
sequel, arguably better, maybe better than 6.
I think 3 is on par with 7. I really wish they'd made a movie better than 3.
I don't think so. I think 3 is worse than 7, personally. It's
Uh,
very clear to me that 3 is
I
worse
think
than
3
7.
is less funny. I think it's less of a raunchy space adventure.
I feel like I feel like 3 goes through much more. 7, like I feel like it was like setting up for such a big
Yeah, 'cause
dramatic movie, and
7
it
is
just
the
gets
set-
cut. You know,
7 is the setup for a whole trilogy. 3 is the closing to a
And that's
trilogy.
why,
that we don't
yeah.
know. And that's why it has to be so long and brooding. He
Uh,
kills children. I don't
I
know.
like it because of that.
I think
you know?
3 is a beautiful film that it's bogged down by some shitty acting and really bad direction and weird CGI
What
decisions.
was 3 written by George Lucas?
Yes, it was.
Yes, but George Lucas took writing classes for the first time in his life, like before he made that movie.
Yeah, English 101.
That's why the beginning of the movie is still poorly written.
Mhm.
Like oh god, you're so beautiful. I'm only so beautiful.
Coming in too hot.
I'm only so beautiful because I'm so in love. No, it's because I'm so in love with you. That's some episode 2 shit.
Yeah, that's basically it.
All right, so agreed, right?
I mean, we agreed to begin with.
2 is shit.
We didn't convince him.
All right, so that was Cog Talk. Episode 2 does not attack or strike back. It just sits there and lets us shit on it.
Sucks. It just sucks.
It just sucks.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
So much.
Alright.
It's like
Yeah, and that's it. That's all we gotta say about it.
It's alright.
It's
Alright,
alright.
guys. Come on,
Oh
guys.
my god.
You're all right.
Okay.
Okay.
This episode of Cock Talk was sponsored by Audiobook.
Yeah, dude, we gotta.
No, we gotta stop saying that.
We've reviewed 7. Do we do the other 5, or do we call it quits on Star Wars?
Call it quits.
Call it quits.
Too much.
Should we
General
pick
losses.
another subject?